Hello, hello, hello. Good day, everyone. I am Ma'am B at your service. Allow me to present my lesson on graphs of polynomial functions. Okay, so this is quite interesting yet challenging. What are you going to learn? You are going to determine the behavior of the graph of polynomial function and graph polynomial functions, of course. For the graphs of polynomial function, this is not unlike with graph of linear function and quadratic function that you learned from the previous year. This is what you're going to study. Ayan. So, ganyan na magiging itsura ng inyong graph of polynomial function. It should be continuous, no gaps, no holes, no breaks, shall be smooth, no rounded turns, no corners, and must pass the vertical line test. Meaning, if you draw a vertical line passing through the x-axis, there shall only be one point of intersection. And so, let's have an example. Of course, you need the different points in order to graph polynomial function. So, starting with the points on the x-axis, like this, which we are going to call the real zeros or x-intercepts. And these are the points 1, 0, for example, 3, 0, and negative 2, 0. And also, it should pass the y-intercept. In the example, the y-intercept is 0, 3. And we're going to connect the points this way. Charan! So you see, it has end behaviors that falls to the left and rises to the right. So yan ang unique characteristics ng graph of polynomial function. The end behaviors. And it has two turning points, the first turning point and the second turning point. So, this is what you are going to accomplish in the graph of polynomial function. So, you're going to look for this. Ayan, different examples of graph of polynomial function. We have a cubic function, quartic function, quintic function, and for more than 5, with a more than degree of 5, there is no specific name yet, so we just add th, like this one. This is a 7th degree function. So how does it look? Diba? Sabi ko kanina, medyo challenging at medyo mahirap ng konti, pero madali lang to. Mahaba lang, pero madali lang to. So, let us start with the properties of the graph of polynomial function. So, in order to graph this, kailangan we must master the different properties. Starting with the behaviors of the graph. Alright, so to summarize the behaviors of the graph that you learned last time, if the leading coefficient is positive and the degree is even, the end behavior both rises to the left and right. And if the degree is negative and end is even, or shall I say the leading coefficient is negative and the degree is even, it's the other way around. It both falls to the left and right. Now, for the leading coefficient of positive, but this time the degree is odd, we have different directions of the end behaviors, which is it falls to the left and rises to the right. And then for a leading coefficient of negative and degree of odd, it rises to the left and falls to the right. So you're going to master or memorize these different behaviors to come out with the correct graph. The second one is about the turning point. So, syempre, it is continuous. Sabi ko nga kanina, it is continuous and no gaps, no hole. So, it is a point of the graph where the graph changes from increasing to decreasing or rising to falling or decreasing to increasing or falling to rising. And the maximum number of turning points of a polynomial function is always 1 less than the degree of the function, that is equal to n minus 1. So, it is best that you know the degree of the function. For example, our function here has a degree of 4. In short, by n minus 1, 4 minus 1 is equal to 3. Therefore, there are 3 turning points. Next, we will get the zeros of polynomial functions. So, this refers to the values of x which make f of x equal to 0. These values are also called the roots or solutions. So, marami siyang tawag. But we're going to equate the function to 0. So, we will change it to y is equal to 0. So, all real roots are the x-intercepts of the graph. So, basically, all graph of polynomial function will intersect the x-axis. For example, we have p of x equal to x, quantity x plus 3, quantity x minus 1. So, a polynomial should be written in factored form as much as possible. If not, you're going to apply synthetic division to get the zeros of polynomial function. So, the factored form should be a product of irreducible factors. So, meaning to say, these are irreducible factors, meaning this can no longer be factored, diba? X can no longer be factored, same with x plus 3 and x minus 1. So, how do we get the zeros? We are going to equate this to 0. It goes like this. So, we'll apply zero product property. First, if x is equal to 0, then we have the first 0. If x plus 3 is equal to 0, x is equal to negative 3, the second 0. And if x minus 1 is equal to 0, x is equal to 1. In short, the zeros of this function is, the zeros of this function are 0, negative 3, 1. O, sasabihin nyo, puro zeros. Ang zeros dito, hindi ito yung score na madalas nyo nakukuha sa quizzes. This pertains to the roots, the x-intercepts, the solutions. Yan. Ang general term lamang para sa kanila ay tinatawag na zeros. So, wag kayong malilito ha. So, in short, makikita ninyo na para mas madali without solution anymore, kukunin lang natin ang opposite. So, kaya ng sa x plus 3, ang opposite ng positive 3 ay negative 3. O, diba? So, madali na siya. Ang opposite ng x minus 1 dito sa negative 1, ang opposite ng negative 1 ay positive 1. So, kahit na wala kayong ipapakitang solution, pwede na yon. Katulad sa number 2. So, ano yung opposite ng negative 1? Opposite ng positive 2? Opposite ng negative, positive 3, but raised to the second power. So, anong kaibahan nito? So, magiging zeros natin ay 1, negative 2, negative 3, multiplicity 2. So, instead of negative 3 squared, we will apply, or we will use the term multiplicity 2, meaning to say there are 2 negative 3's. Next, the third example, so we will have the zeros. Ilan ang 0? So 0 multiplicity 2, so dalawa. Ilan ang negative 2? So 2 multiplicity 2, and then negative 3 over 2. So pag na-solve nyo itong 2x plus 3 is equal to 0, you will get negative 3 over 2. So that's the second. The third property is multiplicities of zeros. So ano ba talaga yung multiplicities of zeros na yan? So the multiplicity of 0 is the number of times the real root of a polynomial functions results in f of x equal to 0. So if we equate the function to 0, we will get the value or the zeros of the function. So the zeros of the function are, there are 2, even multiplicity and odd multiplicity. For even multiplicity, sabi, the graph touches the x-axis at r and bounces at r. So itong r na tinutukoy dito, yung x-intercept or is tangent. So meron tayo dito ang characteristics ng even multiplicity. So it touches the x but it bounces. So nag-touch lang siya tapos babaldig, 'di ba? Babaldig. Or is tangent. So tangent means it will just touch or intersect, but but only once. So hindi siya lalagpas. Kumbaga dumikit lang ng kaunti, hindi siya dire-diretso. Kapag even multiplicity. So, another term for multiplicity ay yung exponent. So, kapag nakita ninyong exponent ng variable ay even, when you graph that one, so, kailangan tangent lang siya. Now, for odd multiplicity, the graph crosses the x-axis. So, ito yung dadaan mismo sa x-axis. So, lalagpas siya sa x-axis. So, dahil lalagpas siya sa x-axis, magkakaroon ng sign change. Diba? O, halimbawa nga ay, dahil lumagpas siya sa x-axis, basically, if we will consider the quadrant, o, di dadaan siya sa second quadrant and third quadrant kung nandun ang inyong mga zeros. Kapag naman nasa kabila, may sign change siya. So, dadaan siya sa first quadrant and fourth quadrant. So, meaning to say, the graph crosses the x-axis. Samantalang sa even multiplicity, dahil nag-touch lang siya, tangent lang siya, wala siyang sign change. Pag siya ay dumaan lang sa, for example, sa 2, ay di nasa quadrant man lang yan. So, makita ninyo, it's just the same. By the way, I forgot to mention that the zeros of the polynomial function has a domain of real numbers. So, ibig sabihin nito, laging may value ng x. Laging may x-intercept. At ang x-intercept na yon, o yung roots of polynomial functions, are always real numbers. Next. So, example, look at this graph. So, makikita natin, merong nag-cross to the x-axis. Then, merong nag-touch lang, dumaan lamang. So, yun yung tinatawag nating tangent. And merong nag-cross. So, if we will express this in factored form, this becomes p of x equal to x plus 3 times x minus 2 squared times x minus 5. So, ang odd multiplicity nito ay x plus 3 and x minus 5. Kasi the exponent is 1. Diba sabi ko, isang nag-cross siya. So, understood, ang exponent nito ay magiging add lang. Add number. So, that is 1. And then, for the even multiplicity, it's x minus 2 is squared. Okay. So, dahil tangent lang siya, okay, ibig sabihin nito, there are 2 positive 2. Bakit nga ginamit ko siyang x plus 3? Nakadaan lang siya dito sa negative 3. Diba, a while ago, I told you that the equation or to get the zeros of the function, we will equate this to 0. So, kanina ay x plus 1 is equal to 0, x is equal to negative 1. So, dito, vice versa. Since the 0 or the x-intercept is negative 3, I will apply the factored form. So, I will express that into the x plus 3. So, kukunin ko naman yung opposite na negative 3. So, opposite lang tayo. So, opposite ng negative 3 ay positive 3. Kaya magiging x plus 3. Opposite of positive 2 is negative 2. So, magiging x minus 2. Dahil siya ay tangent lang or even multiplicity, raised to the second power. And then this one, nasa positive 5 siya. So, kabaliktaran niya, x minus 5. And then, na-cross siya. So, exponent niya is add. Okay, to understand better, let's analyze the graph. So, what is the equation of the function p? So, we will analyze it from left to right. So, negative 2 expressed in factored form, it's x plus 2. And it crosses the x-axis, so we are expecting a positive exponent. So, from the choices, let us eliminate x plus 2 with even exponent. That's letter D. X plus 2 with even exponent. Next, the graph touches 0. Dahil touches 0, so it's tangent to 0. We are expecting that the exponent is even. So, let's see. Meron ditong hindi even, so i-cross na natin siya. So, mali yun. Letter A, mali. Next, between 2 and 3, so that's 2.5. Anyway, 2x minus 5 na lang ang natitira. Nag-cross siya sa x-axis. So, in-expect natin na the exponent is add. So, anong dito ang mali? Mali ang letter C kasi exponent ng 2x minus 5 ay even. So, in short, the answer is letter C. Okay, so ganun lang yan. One more example. What is the equation of P? So, we start with negative 3. Hanapin natin yung x plus 3. Dapat ito raised to the second power. So, mali yung x plus 3 to the first power, which is letter B. Next, negative 1. So, convert it to x plus 1. Nag-cross. Kaya, dapat ang exponent nito ay add. X plus 1 na add. Kaya mali yung x plus 1 is squared. That's letter C. Next, dumaan sa 2. So, magiging x minus 2 siya. Dahil siya ay tangent lang, dapat exponent nito ay even. So, hanapin natin yung x minus 2 na hindi even exponent. Letter D. In short, the answer is letter A. So, ganun lang kasimple yan. Okay, so ngayon sa mga graph ng polynomial function, paano ba talaga mag-graph? First, we need to find the x and y intercepts. So, paano natin siya ipa-plot kung wala tayong mga points. At yung mga points na yon, ang tawag dun ay x and y intercepts. Sabi ko nga, dadaan siya sa x-axis, dadaan siya sa y-axis. Example, to find the x-intercept, you factor the polynomial completely, set y is equal to 0, and then equate its factor to 0. O ngayon, pwede tayong gumamit ng ibang procedure to get the zeros. So, gagamit ako ng synthetic division. Di ba? Para magamit ko itong synthetic division, mag-iisip ako ng possible factors. Kaya ang possible factors niyan, since ang constant is 8, the possible zeros are positive negative 1, positive negative 2, positive negative 4, positive negative 8. O, mas safe gamitin yung mabababang factors. Kasi, dahil multiplication yan eh. Kasi pag malaki ang pinili nyo, for sure, malaki din yung magiging product. Kaya, it's dangerous. Mapanganib. So, let's list down all the coefficients, starting with 1, negative 1, negative 6, 4, 8. Gagamit ako ng negative 1. Yan. Gamitin ko negative 1. O, let's apply synthetic division. Bring down 1 times negative 1 is negative 1. Negative 1 plus negative 1 is negative 2. Times negative 1 is positive 2. Negative 6 plus 2 is negative 4. Times negative 1 is 4. Plus 4 is 8. Times negative 1 is negative 8. 8 minus 8 is 0. So, it means negative 1. Diba? From the lesson about factor theorem, if 0 is the remainder, it means that the chosen number is one of the zeros. So, it's correct. Next, continue. So, may isa na ako. So, sabi ko nga, the number of zeros pertains to the degree. If ang degree dito ay 4, we are expecting to get 4 zeros. Kaya may isa na tayo. Let's continue. Hanap pa tayo ng 3. Oh, this time, ang gagamitin ko naman ay 2 naman. 2. So, bring down 1 times 2 is 2. Negative 2 plus 2 is 0. Times 2 is 0. Negative 4 plus 0 is 0. Negative 4, I mean. Times 2 is negative 8. 8 minus 8 is 0. O yan, tama na naman. It means that 2 is one of the zeros. So, ngayon, ayoko nang mag-synthetic division. I will use the press equation. So, ang natira na lang ay 3 terms. So, ibig sabihin, negative 4 ang constant. Pag in-apply natin na standard form, ang 1 ay coefficient ng x squared. Dahil 0 to, so wala tayong x. And ang negative 4 ay constant. So, magiging x squared minus 4. So, kukunin ko na yung factors ng x squared minus 4. Yan. Balikan natin. So, x squared minus 4, the factors are x plus 2 times x minus 2. Equate to 0. We will get negative 2 and positive 2. So, heto na po ang ating 4 na zeros. Isang negative 1, isang negative 2, at 2 positive 2. So, the zeros are negative 1, negative 2, 2 multiplicity 2. Yan. So, diba? Mahaba nga, pero madali. Next, we're going to find the y-intercept. So, ilang beses dadaan ang graph sa y-axis? Isa lang. Isa lang. So, to get the y-intercept, let x be equal to 0 and simplify. So, simplify. So, substitute all x by 0. And basically, ang matitira na lang ay 8. Any number multiplied by 0 is 0. Therefore, the y-intercept is 0, 8. Next. Hanapin na natin yung end behavior ng graph. So, kailangan makuha natin yung degree and leading coefficient. So, leading coefficient is 1, and then degree is 4. So, it's combination of positive, even. So, pag positive, even, the end behavior, both rises to the left and right. Next, solve for the number of turning points. So, ito yung kailan magra-rise, kailan ang fall, ilan yung beses siya magkakaroon ng turn. So, bale, 4 minus 1. Kaya kung natin yung degree, 4 minus 1 is 3. So, tatlong liko ang ating magiging graph. And then, determine the multiplicity of roots. So, nakuha na natin yung kanina. So, the zeros are negative 1, negative 2, 2. Multiplicity 2. So, ibig sabihin, add multiplicity are negative 1, negative 2. Kaya, pag na-graph natin yan, cross siya sa negative 1, negative 2. Dadaan siya, lalagpas siya dyan. But, sa even multiplicity, 2 multiplicity 2, tangent lang siya. So, magta-touch lang siya sa 2. And, we're going now to plot and sketch the graph on a Cartesian coordinate plane. So, following the properties, anong kailangan natin? Checkin natin muna kung naka-standard form. So, no need kasi naka-standard form na siya. Pag sinabi standard form, the exponents are from highest to lowest. So, okay na to yung okay na yung given natin. Next, hanapin natin yung leading term. So, bali, x to the fourth. Hanapin natin yung x-intercepts and its multiplicity. So, nakuha na natin. So, yung x-intercept, bali, ito yung add multiplicity, negative 1, negative 2. At ang even naman ay 2 multiplicity 2. Hanapin natin yung y-intercept. Nakuha na nga pala natin. So, 8. So, dadaan siya sa 8. At 3 yung turning points. At ang huli, syempre, yung behavior. So, both rises to the left and right. Kasi nga, siya ay positive, even. So, heto na. Ipa-plot na natin. Plot muna natin yung mga points. Kunin natin sa mga x-intercept. Negative 1, negative 2, positive 2. Okay. Then, kunin natin yung y-intercept. Siyempre, nasa y-axis yan. Lagyan na natin ng mga label. And then, sabi nga dyan, ay both rises to the left and right. So, connect na natin yung mga points. Sabi nga, it's continuous, smooth, no curves, no turn, no corner, no holes. Yan. And now, this is the graph of P of x is equal to x to the fourth minus x cubed minus 6x squared plus 4x plus 8. So, that's it, my dear students. So, diba, bandali lamang mag-graph ng polynomial function. So, you're going to try this. So, that's all, my dear students. So, thank you for listening. For more questions, or if you have some questions, just find me at my FB account at Opelia Bayaras, or email me at bayaras.opelia@gmail.com, o kaya sa messenger na lang. So, once again, thank you. Bye-bye. Have a nice day and keep safe, everyone. Love you all.